So we check the price of oil every day. When when oil price goes up or goes down, it is world head news. Also, it is personal news for us also. But when the price of cobalt or price of manganese goes up, we don't react in the same way. But these are the minerals actually in everywhere. The phone we use it, or the laptop we use it, or the electric car we drive, or all the electronic gadgets, mostly rechargeable, are contain these electrical, the critical minerals. But we don't react the same way as the oil price goes up when this critical mineral price goes up, because we don't use that as a direct product. We use as a end product. We don't know where the cobalt is contained. We don't know where it is manganese contained. So we use the end product. But when this product goes up uh, in the supply chain or in the production level, it is going to increase the price of the end product. Why these are going to go up? Mostly the countries or the continent which is producing these critical minerals, they are changing their behavior. So let's see in this way. Maybe one decade ago, we we have studied, we have read, uh, we know the word of minerals, but the critical minerals, the word critical, it attached to that is in last 10 years. Why the word critical become critical? Because of the new economic of internet, new energy, economy of green energy, new economic of um, artificial intelligence are built on this. This is the fuel of the new economy. So Africa, which is contain more than 30% of critical reserve of the world, uh, changing the behavior that they want to be the kitchen. What's the kitchen? So you can imagine in this way. So you grow the vegetables, somebody buys and cook there and sell it to the buyers where they eat the food. So the kitchen usually make more margin than the growers. So here the Africa is a grower. They have more mineral deposit than any other continent. Um, South America, they have some percentage of, Australia have it. But what is the differentiate here? Africa has a more diverse variety of minerals that no other countries has, no other continent has. Maybe South America can dominate in lithium. Lithium triangles is come from three countries: Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile. But if you see it in African countries, most of the countries are have a diverse uh, minerals. For example, cobalt. Cobalt is a more critical minerals for the new economy. Almost all the batteries has it. It is the product help us to batteries to not to overheat. But this cobalt produce almost 70% of from country called DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. But they are not processing it. They extract it and they export that raw material to China. China produce that and they refine it and they made it as a product grade product, and they sell it to the battery producer or the product producer. Then companies like Tesla or any other uh, companies, Huneta or Apple, they buy those batteries. So all the processing, like almost 73% of cobalt is produced by, processed by China, and nickel or lithium, anything is processed by China. China is the processing powerhouse. The problem here, African countries, they don't have a processing capacity. They unearth it or extract it and they export to the China. Now African countries knows that the real value or real wealth to be made when they process these minerals, not in extraction. But until now, um, it is not in a big talk, or it's not in a mainstream talk in the African economy. The one thing is critical minerals are, yeah, in emerging states. Only the, for example, metals type are as a big demanded product. For example, it can be the uh, it can be the iron, it can be the copper, it can be the lithium, but not other type of critical minerals. But now the new economy made it the all the type of critical minerals are heavily needed. So that's why these African countries now thinking about making their own processing unit. The own processing to set up the own processing unit. What is the problem for them until now? They have uh, unstable government. For example, take about DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. This is a resource-rich country. The mineral, one of the, in whole Africa, if you take it, this is the country has a most diverse and more reserve of critical minerals. But the problem is, it has an internal fight, civil fight. More than 120 armed groups are fighting each other. So it's almost always, civil war, unstable government, corruptions, and disease outbreak, virus outbreak. This almost everything is happened. So that's why it's only do the hard part, not the money making part. But now these governments are slowly, some government are aggressively, for example Zambia, setting up, they are putting the ban, actually they are putting the ban on exporting these raw minerals, and they want to process it within their country. So if that happened, the China, especially the China's buyers, will get affected. Then the companies who are trading with that also will get affected. But the African governments, some of the African entrepreneurs or some of the African companies, totally the African economy will get the new boost. So the boost size is IMF estimating for the next 20 years. It's almost 2 trillion worth of energy, the new money will come into these countries. For example, let's say the critical mineral called manganese. Manganese. So this is the mineral we never heard of, or even the cobalt. We never heard of unless people who are really into that matter. So, for example, manganese is a critical mineral that very important for the steel industry. Steel is one of the world first metal, then aluminium comes, then the copper comes. But for the steel to not to break or crack, um, this manganese need to be blended with that in the steel production. For example, if you have 1,000 kilo or one ton of steel, 11 kilo of manganese have to blend it with that. Otherwise, steel will not be the steel. It will be break. It will be crack on that. It will get a crack on that. So this manganese is used for the battery production or some, to resist the heat. But these are not the mainstream product as the general public or the mass audience will know that. But this is very critical in the economy. For example, if you see steel is very critical commodity for the new economy, also the old economy, old conventional manufacturing, the traditional trade industry also is needed. So these manganese, who has it? Almost 40% of Africa has it. Around 32% South Africa has it. So remaining is Gabon and Ghana. These two countries has it. So what I am trying to say is the last 100 years shaped by the oil, whoever produced the oil, which is mostly the Middle East country, which is, the power is concentrated in OPEC, the organization called OPEC. Then where the oil flows, so the new order also designed based on that. So what is the new order, what is the new commodity which is going to help the new world order, help to shape the new order, which is going to be the critical minerals, because without it there is no new economy. New economy, as you see, as I see, is already in the market. So this is not a theory, or this is not an assumption. This is not a hope that okay, this is going to be the new economy. This is actually start to happen. So it's based on the market you are from. You will know whether it is, some people start to realize it early because of they are so exposure rate. Some people are hearing as a news, but they will get to know it very soon. So these minerals, critical minerals, is not minerals anymore. The critical minerals are handled by the African countries very well. That they designed, they refine it. They grade it as a product, ready or end product. Even they do some components like batteries. Then the economy will be in a next level. African economy for the next 100 years will be in the next level. The problem is, as I said last time or previously, the instability of the African government or the African institutions, public institutions, to make that happen. But it's going to happen anyway, because China is reacted on that. They know that African government going to control this. So what they do, they go in as an investor, and they make the investment within those countries, and they set up the process factory. Even EU, this year they have announced around 3 billion euro to set up the factories within Africa. But again, another issue is there. These are the energy intensive factories, so you need to have a consistent and high energy to process these critical minerals, where African countries has these problems. Most of the African countries has this problem to produce and deliver consistent energy supply, and they have a law and order problem. They have a workforce problem. They have a functioning banking, modern banking problem, except the some of East African, South African, West African countries. Central African countries has this problem comparatively than any other region of Africa. So what is learned from here is we have to think when we think about the emerging market, we will think aligned with the new economy. We think about the market which is going to emerge on that. So then these are the inevitable things. These are the inevitable. Recently, you may heard Apple CEO Tim Cook said, because of the shortage or the price hike in chips, so they are increasing the price of Apple product. So why these AI chips are getting expensive? Because of the production and the demand. A lot of people want it, and to produce that is become a tougher job. So think about that. Africa has this much of natural resource, and the same time, as I talked about in a previous video, Dangote, which is the African richest man, putting the second refinery in East Africa, already one in Nigeria there, and they are trying to self-sustain their oil needs, and now they want to manufacture or process the critical minerals. And again, they have a youngest population in the world, Africa country as a whole. So you see the potential. So the problem will be there, like instability, and during the market entry you will feel the difficulties compared with the Western countries. But Western countries are the eaters. The African countries are growers. China is a kitchen, and Western countries are the eaters. But now Africa, okay, I want to share some part of the kitchen. Then definitely the West is going to be the eater. So they cannot put too much pressure as USA putting now. Supply chain won't work in that way. Then if they put the pressure on that, then China will make the end product too. Think about, see the BYD. BYD started as a battery company. They are strong is a battery, lithium batteries. So then they will make a move on that. So eventually the world power will shift. So if you think the view I have, is it correct? Or if you have a same opinion, just share your comment.